What is up, YouTube? Today we are doing an AMA I put on my community tab on my YouTube. Just ask me questions and I'm just going to go through them and answer the ones I want. But before that, of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also the bell notification. Yeah, okay, you got it. When you pick or ban stages in any given tournament, what's my thought processes for picks and bans? Do you ban their good stages versus your bad ones, etc.? So for the most part, honestly, I ban my worst stages, which are Pokemon Stadium 2 and Battlefield. This isn't always the case because sometimes I either know the player really likes a specific stage and so I don't want to let them be comfortable. Like, let's say I ban Kalos versus MVD because he's great on that stage. Or also really strong counter combinations, like let's say Mario on Yoshi Story, or Game & Watch on Yoshi Story, or Mii Brawler on Yoshi Story. A lot of those type of things I'll ban because they're so much better for them than it could ever be for me, so it's not worth it. But for the most part, I pick my best stages and I ban my worst stages. There's, again, a couple situations where that isn't true, but for the most part, that's the rule. Which character do you think is the most underdeveloped and has potential to do well? Well, honestly, a lot of characters are underdeveloped because there's a lot of crazy stuff that everyone can do. And of course, now in the online era, people aren't really getting optimal combos because it's really hard to do so with input delay. But honestly, I think that just optimization is something that is so far out. Like, people get optimal so far into the metagame, except with very specific simple characters, that I don't think it's really fair to say like, oh, these characters are figured out even 2 years into the game, because like characters even like Palutena are getting optimized and learning new routes and stuff like that and learning new strategies, even though they're a relatively simple character. The character that has the most tech is probably like Steve. Steve is crazy and he's so free-flowing because of course just the way he works. So I think Steve is going to be an insane character in terms of combos and potential, quote unquote. Of course you have like Shulk, right, like Mr. Potential, but I would say like most characters that are at the very least like upper mid tier and above all have a lot of room to grow. This is a question I get a lot on my tier lists, which is how did Inkling fall so much? Like, why did Cosmos give up on her and now everyone thinks she's only high tier? First off, I think in my last tier list, I still put Inkling as top tier, maybe lower top tier, but still top tier. The character is very good because their dash and mobility are amazing. They have really solid combos, good grab game. But the problem with Inkling is the fact that if you miss up throw up air, or it's a matchup where up throw up air isn't really good, Inkling struggles to kill. And in a game with a lot of characters with great advantage states, think Pikachu, think Mario, think Game & Watch, Zero Suit, Palu, Rob, like basically like every single really good character in this game, they can hit you once and deal you 50 in a combo and then keep you at the ledge, or then, you know, just juggle you forever. And if Inkling is struggling to kill you at 140, 150, 160, 170, then you're giving your opponent more opportunities to come back and establish their advantage state and then win. So Inkling's clutch is kind of hard, especially when people are like DIing up at early percents like 50, 60, where they can get like roller cheesed from like a landing nair or landing back air. But otherwise, I think Inkling is a very good character. It's just their juggling and advantage state aren't as good as other top tiers, so they're slightly worse, even if their neutral is amazing. Do I have some sort of way that I don't get mad at people who play toxic? Basically just asking if you have some specific way to stay chill. So me personally, I've been playing Smash for a long time in games that are way more broken. I've also played other fighting games that are way more broken, like Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So to me, playing toxic doesn't really exist, because also I'm good enough to the point where I'll beat a lot of like really degenerate and like spammy playstyles. Like, let's say Samus, who's doing bomb, roll, charge shot, forward air. Like, I'll just beat those people because I'm better than them, so I don't really have to worry about that. But if you, like, the thing is, no playstyle is inherently toxic. Even things like Timeout Sonic, which is very far in like this kind of toxic zone, like to most people. But either way, it's just a really good strategy, and I enjoy playing the game enough in every facet, whether it's people timing me out, whether it's me trying to time people out, whether it's playing aggressive, defensive, passive, whatever. I really enjoy Smash, and I always have. So I don't really get tilted because either way I'm having fun. Like when I played Wrath at, I think the last time we played was in Smash 4 CEO 2016, something like that. He beat me, but I was still having fun during the games because like Wrath is just such a good player that I was just really enjoying the interactions that we did have because he was so smart, and I really appreciated that, regardless of the fact that he ran away for 3 minutes before I could even try to touch him. I feel like just appreciating the game and realizing that you're not meant to win every set, and sometimes your opponent is just going to outplay you, whether it's you not knowing how to deal with a strategy, whether it's them being just better than you, or just in general, sometimes you just lose, and losing is okay. And it's really something that's important in competition, is that losing is okay, because one person wins every tournament. A single person wins a tournament. And so if you are expecting to win every single tournament, which no one does, not even Leo does, I'm pretty sure, like he's like okay with getting second or third, I'm pretty sure, you're gonna lose and it's gonna be fine. And like, of course you wanna do better and you wanna win, but that doesn't mean you have to get salty when you lose. Like, if you lose in a specific way, like you misinputted or USD'd or something like that, sure. But otherwise, I feel like it's just kind of stunting your growth to just get mad at every single loss. Like, just learn from it, learn how to beat the strategies and get better, or if you don't like the strategies as your character, pick up a counter pick, or pick up that character and try to learn what you don't like when using those strategies, something like that, you know? Top 5 favorite music albums of all time. So I know I look like Anthony Fantano, but I'm not actually too crazy versed in music albums. I kind of just like individual songs from different people, but if I had to say my top 5 albums, which my favorite band is probably Breaking Benjamin and then like Lawrence. So from them, I think I have 3 albums on its own, which would be Phobia by Breaking Benjamin, Dear Agony by Breaking Benjamin is also a very good album. Breakfast by Lawrence is fire. Probably Emotion by Carly Rae Jepsen, and then 1989 by Taylor Swift, because those are all good. Those are all good albums. Have I ever been recognized at an airport while going to a tournament? If you have any weird stories / interactions, I haven't really had that many weird interactions when people see me in public. I always, like, it's still crazy to me because, like, I'm just a dude in my head, right? Although obviously I have influence. But I really enjoy seeing people, whether it's just like in person, like at a random like restaurant or airport or something like that, whether it's at an event. I love fan interaction. It is one of my favorite things about being a top player. It's absolutely amazing. But I've had just very pleasant experiences overall. Just people coming up to me wanting selfies. We talk. We've played sometimes in airport terminals if I'm alone and just kind of like traveling to an event alone. But I don't really have any negative. I have very, very, very few negative experiences with fans. And for the most part, it's just like, oh, they didn't understand the social etiquette. Like, oh, I just lost. Or they tried like talking to me at the wrong time when I was like focusing and they like wouldn't leave me alone or something. But like other than that, I basically have entirely positive fan interactions, which is really good because that's like, it just makes me happy. And it makes me like going to events, whether it's locals or regionals or majors. Like, y'all are such a big part of why I enjoy events. So it's great. Will I ever look into speedrunning? There's a bunch of smashers who are also in the speedrunning community for a bunch of games, and I do know how much I love Celeste. Well, obviously, first off, I did have a speedrun at GDQ. I had a race with Dive Kick with the DK bongos, which are currently not in this room. Haha, here they are, the DK bongos. So I actually had a speedrun race with these at GDQ, which was really, really fun. But otherwise, I have been starting to speedrun. Like, I literally did like my first run of Celeste's all Seasides. So I think I want to do that because it's a short run. The main game takes way too long, and that's a lot of map memorization, and I don't really have that much time to sink into it because I still want to like be better at Smash and also spend time with my fiance, who's going to be my wife, and, you know, cook and bake and do house chores and like have a normal life. So I don't just have a ton of time to devote to also playing games outside of my stream schedule or expanding my stream schedule greatly. But the Seaside seemed fun, so I want to do that, and I want to at least crack like top 20 or something of the runs, which is still difficult, but I think I can do it. Are there other characters who I'd like to main / bring in a tournament? So for some reason, even though I play a bunch of Min Min and I show her on the channel a lot, people still don't believe that I really want to seriously secondary that character. I do want to be a Pikachu / Min Min player, because I think Min Min beats Ness and either beats or goes even with Game & Watch, but I'm pretty sure beats, especially offline. So I really want to play those characters or play Min Min to a very high efficiency because she's a great counterpick character. If I'm just getting zoned out or I don't want to not worry about a Pac-Man or a Samus, which is 2 characters I've lost to in tournament between T and Joker, I can go Min Min, even if Pikachu could do it. I like having that really strong, really polarizing secondary. Min Min's great, so I definitely am taking her seriously. If someone is just now becoming interested in playing Smash at a competitive level, what resources or steps would I point them towards to improve themselves and prep for in-person tournaments during lockdown? Well, there's honestly a lot of stuff you can do to improve online, and I'm honestly going to make a standalone video about this because it's a very big topic, of course, considering lockdown is still going to be, even with vaccines, probably another 3 to 4 months minimum. So I feel like my biggest thing is just play to improve and not to win. As I kind of touched on earlier, winning isn't everything. So if you want to get better, then focus on why you're losing and focus on winning specific micro situations and not about winning an entire game, especially if someone just outclasses you. Like, you can still learn things even if someone is destroying you because you focus on one interaction, or you focus on, I want to not roll, or I want to stop jumping because they keep reading my jumps, and just try to condition yourself or like practice like restraint in yourself in that specific example. But there's a ton of stuff you can get better at. But just remember that you want to learn, you don't want to win, because if you learn, you'll get better and you'll win based on that, and you don't have to just play to win every single game. Have I thought of streaming other games and uploading highlights to this channel more frequently? So, again, well, big thing is I don't really get a lot of views when I upload non-Smash content, because I have played other games, whether it's Celeste or whether it's just other random games that I've played on stream and then uploaded, like my Super Metroid playthrough. So I don't really get a lot of views, so I feel like it's not worth it to upload to this channel, at least currently, until I branch out into just being a variety person, if that ever happens. So, like, streaming, yes, I definitely want to stream other games more frequently, because again, I want to stream Celeste, I want to stream like Pokemon Snap 2, I want to stream releases as they come, or games as they come out if I'm interested in them, especially now that I have my better computer setup, I can actually stream computer games. But still, I really like Smash, it's my community, it's my, like, home base, so I'm going to be focusing primarily on Smash for as long as I can see, like, moving forward. Why am I so quiet when I'm recording? So for the past year, I've been in Canada in a relatively small apartment with my fiance, who wakes up later than I do. So when I record, it's typically in the morning, and she's sleeping, so I'm trying to not be loud and wake her up. But now that we have a bigger house, I have my own room for streaming, I can be a bit louder, although I'm going to have to see how loud I can be without her being able to hear it in the other room. But I expect to be able to be louder in this room than I have for the past year, so don't worry. As you can kind of tell based on me talking. I get this question a ton. It's maybe the most common question that I get between my YouTube and my stream, which is, why aren't there a lot of Pikachu players? So, in Smash Ultimate, even though a lot of people consider Pikachu the best or the second best or the third best character in the game, clearly a top tier character, there still aren't a lot of Pikachu players. And the reason for that is that Smash Ultimate is so balanced to the point where you don't have to play a top tier character in order to do well. It is not Brawl, where you needed to play a top 5 or 6 character. It is not Melee, where you have to play a top 6 or 7 character. It is not even Smash 4, where you had to play a top 5 or 7 character. In Smash Ultimate, you can play characters upwards of 30 characters down the tier list. So you can play a top 30 character and still do incredibly well in tournaments. We have seen people that don't play top 10 characters do really well. Think Meister before people thought Game & Watch was good. Think Rob players. Think T's Pac-Man. Think Olimar players, because for some reason people don't think Olimar is top tier. Well, I guess I put Olimar in like 20, so I guess I'm one of them. There's just so many good characters in this game that you don't have to play one of the best characters in the game. Also, Pikachu's awkward. Pikachu's a very strange and awkward character to play because his approach options, I mean, T-Jolt approach options are very good, but his disadvantage is very different from a lot of characters. His recovery is tricky. Using Quick Attack in neutral is difficult for people that aren't used to it, and it is a major part of his gameplay and is one of the things that makes him super good. Of course, his combos are all very specific because of the spacings that you have to hit for up air, and your forward airs, and your drag downs, and like getting jab blocks and always tech chasing. There's a lot to Pikachu that makes him good, but there's a lot to him that makes him difficult. He is definitely not a pick up and play type of character that even some other top tier characters are. He doesn't have a very obvious game plan in every single matchup, unless you're a lower tier character, in which case it's probably just Thunder Jolt, hit you off stage, edgeguard. But against good players, top level competitors, it's not that simple. Like, a lot of me doing really well, of course sometimes because I'm very aware of my character, go, wow, this is broken. Like, when I play Palutena players and I beat them, I'm like, yeah, that matchup sucks. It was just Pikachu. Of course it is also me, but a lot of it is me understanding the character and abusing the strengths of my character and the weaknesses of my opponent's character in that matchup. When you are picking up a character to just beat other top tier players, it's really difficult. It's one of the reasons that I've never stuck to secondaries for the most part, because the people who I'm picking up secondaries for are top 15 to 30 players, you know, like I'm picking up Min for Game & Watch players, and by Game & Watch players I mean Meister, and Ness players, and by Ness players I mean Best Ness, who's a PGR player. Like, it's hard to pick up a character and beat other top tier players, especially when you're not just investing all of your time into them. I'm a Diddy main and he'll just beat everyone with Diddy, but also Tweak is one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world, so that makes sense. It is really difficult to pick up characters and do really well with them immediately for most people, so people try Pikachu, realize he's awkward, and then go, no, it's fine, I'll just play the character that I was already playing who gets me better results, even if Pikachu might be better in the long term. I'm really excited for a couple of the Pikachu players that have been picking him up over quarantine, like Shiny Merc I'm very excited for. You have Edge from Japan I'm very excited for. Of course, I want the Japanese Pikachus to do better. Of course, DM will still be doing well from North America, and of course myself. So I think Pikachu will be fairly represented if all those people still go to majors when offline returns. But yeah, he's just awkward, so I don't really anticipate another already established top player picking up Pikachu because he's weird. Have I ever considered doing a series or something where I'd teach Smash basics to beginners? I think I'd be good at it. Well, let me know down in the comments below if you have any specific topics that you want me to teach, because I might do that, whether it's stuff about DI or SDI or understanding counterplay. I can definitely do those type of things. It's just really hard for me to just think of a video to do that are basics, because I typically focus on like higher level play, but that doesn't mean that I can't do it. It's just not something that I think of myself. So again, comment down below what you want me to make videos of, and I will gladly try. Are there any other fighting games I've considered picking up outside of Smash? If not, are there other fighting games you particularly have a respect and or liking for? I definitely watch a ton of fighting games. Basically, the only like mainstream fighting game I don't really watch is King of Fighters, and I don't even know if you'd consider that mainstream. I watch Street Fighter, I watch anime games, I watch Tekken, although less so recently, but like I still do, like especially like when offline events happen. Like I really like the Smash FGC crossover events like Combo Breaker, CEO. I love watching the top 8s, top 16, 32, whatever of all the different games, especially considering I have teammates in a bunch of them on PANDA. So I really enjoy other fighting games. The one I took definitely the most seriously was Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I have a stick right down there which I need to fix because I want to play that with Parsec in a couple streams. But I love Marvel. Otherwise, I played Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5 barely, and then of course Dive Kick, which I am a CEO champion for because I'm godlike, and Dive Kick is really fun and funny. So, but yeah, I like fighting games. I'm a huge fighting game fan, but I definitely want to play Smash the most. And the last question for the day will be, what did I do to get the ability to study my opponent very closely while still thinking about other things and playing the game at the same time? So a big thing is just the mastery of the game and your character. Whenever I'm performing combos or doing something, I'm not thinking about what my hands are doing. I am just doing it subconsciously, or like I'm obviously like doing it on purpose, but I'm not thinking about what my hands are doing, I'm just doing it. That's a big deal because whenever I think of an idea, I can just execute it basically every single time. Of course, there are misinputs, but not very frequently. For me in particular, there is also another thing where Pikachu and just myself am really good at pushing advantage and comboing people as hard as I can. So all I have to really study are how people DI, what their options are out of hit stun, and then what their main options are in neutral that I can either parry or whiff punish, or like how they deal with Thunder Jolt in general. Because if I get a feeling of how they deal with Thunder Jolt, that means I can hit them. If like, oh, let's say they roll in typically, then I go T-Jolt, run, they roll in, I turn around, I grab them, and I combo them. If they start jumping out of hit stun, then I can go for Thunder Reads. If they start air dodging out of hit stun, then I can land on a platform and go for up tilts or grabs and extensions and things like that. I can learn how they recover so I can edge guard them. So I can basically compartmentalize the game into specific areas and then just see what my opponents are doing in those areas. And sometimes there have been games where it's like, cool, this is what you have to do because like a specific character matchup, and I am going to memorize your specific timings and then start punishing for it. Whether it's Palutena 2-frame options, whether it's, you know, how Roy players recover, whether it's when the Chrom players air dodge to ledge. Just, I was picking random characters, but there's a lot of stuff for a bunch of different characters where you can just kind of see what in general they do and then can punish it accordingly or respect it when you have to. I feel like just understanding the game and the characters at a really high level and understanding frame data really help with that, because I don't have to worry like, oh my god, they did this move, is it punishable? Like, no, I should already know if the move is punishable. I should already know if I can up smash it, if I can grab it, if I can back air, if I can quick attack. Like if I need to parry it, like understanding that I needed to parry Mario's back air in order to punish it because it's -2. But if I parry it, then I can get a forward tilt every single time. Now made me start looking for Mario's jumps, shielding, and then parrying, and then getting an F tilt or a grab because it works. And then suddenly my opponents can't back air as freely. I know that, so then I can start disrespecting other options because they're not going to go for the really good back air. So you can just kind of compartmentalize the game and kind of break it down into situations where your opponent is comfortable doing things, uncomfortable doing things, and what you can do to punish all those different things. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. That is going to be it for it. As always, social media, PANDA and PANDA stuff is down below. If you want me to do another AMA, just let me know in the comments, and also just drop some questions, because this is fun. Plus, again, I'm still getting reset up in my new place, so I don't have everything available. But also, Pyra and Mithra, I guess by the time this video is out, are probably already out, / we know when they're coming out, because I don't think I'm uploading this. Like, I'm recording this the day before the Sakurai presentation, so we'll see with that. Of course, I'm going to be uploading a lot of content with that, but I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you all next time.